Hey guys, welcome to my blog. I wanted to do a quick video to go along with the explanation that I just put above for our build. So here we go. We literally built from the ground up. We started with the 5 dividers at the bottom of the built-ins. These are approximately 18 inches by 20.5 inches. You'll notice on step 2 that the bench is 21 inches. I did that so that this trim piece would be flush to the front of the bench. And then of course we added the quarter round here. The 5 dividing pieces are approximately 21 inches apart from one another, and that'll be custom to the space that you have. I used pocket hole screws at Kreg Jig to cut a pocket hole right here, which has since been covered with wood filler. We secured it into the floor. We used an oscillating tool to cut out the wall, or the trim, excuse me, the baseboard, so that the panel would be flush to the wall. We also used a Kreg Jig pocket hole tool to cut pocket holes here so that we could later attach the bench from the bottom side. Next, we cut the bench approximately 84 inches long, and we attached that to the wall again with pocket hole screws. We marked the studs in the wall, and then we put pocket hole screws accordingly, so those would be going into the studs. A little tip, we used pocket hole screws that were longer than you would use for 3/4 inches of wood so that it could go deeper into the wall. We not only secured the bench on the wall, we also screwed it or attached it to the panels again with pocket hole screws. And the reason we do that is just so that none of the screws are seam, so that the top of the bench is nice and smooth and no wood filler is needed on top of the bench. So next we worked our way up. We used 1x8x6s for the divides here. We cut these 51 inches tall. Actually, I got ahead of myself. First we did shiplap using a nail gun straight up the wall. We decided to use 11 pieces, which ended up being 51 inches tall. So we secured the shiplap with nails, and then we came in with these 1x8x6s. We cut them down to 51 inches to be the same height as the shiplap. If we had to do it again, I would have just used plywood. I bought these because I thought it would save us time, and that we originally were going to leave them 6 feet long, but we actually cut them to 51 inches, as I said. We secured these, you can see a little bit, it's not a perfect wood fill. We secured them with pocket hole screws into the bench. We did not secure them into the shiplap. So we started with the 5 panels below, bench, shiplap, 5 vertical divides, which is actually 4 spots, but it takes 5 boards to create the four cubbies. Next, we came up here. We did a vertical board made out of plywood all the way across, and that was 9.5 inches to match the 1x10s, 9.5 inches out, and we cut it approximately 84 inches. You'll notice when you do a built-in that your wall depth or the space between your 2 walls is not always the same. So you might cut it and then it might not fit because the wall is a bit wonky, for lack of a better term. You can't see it now because it's since been covered up, but we went in from the top and drilled screws down into the 5 vertical panels to secure this horizontal board. Continuing to work our way up, we cut 5, there's some of our tools, 5 more panels. You'll see we cut these 10 inches because our shiplap was about 1/2 inch thick. It might have been more between 1/4 and 1/2 inch, but we made these panels to be flush to the other vertical panels, and you'll see our shiplap went up a little bit high, so we had to cut a little divot out with our jigsaw. So these go directly against the wall, but they're also flush on the front and flush on the wall. We created 5 of those. We made these 19 inches tall, and we did that because it had trim at the top that would be about 1 inch or so down. We wanted to create it the same, to be essentially about the same as the boards below. The reason we didn't do 19 is because we added this trim piece, this crown molding, so we had to secure that to something. So this trim piece is not attached to the top of that vertical board. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but again, when you do a custom built-in, you measure or at least we do. We measure and we build to the space we're building in. So some of this will be custom. If you repeat this or try to do this at your own home, you'll have custom dimensions based on your space. So after we added the 5 panels for these top cubbies, then we came back with one more vertical board, approximately 10 inches by 84 inches. Secured that from the top. Let's see if you can take a look up there. Oh, extra piece of wood. So we secured that from the top, and you can see that there, here, and then you can also see we secured it into studs on the back using pocket holes, so that it would be secured into the wall as well. The final thing we did is we came back with trim. We used poplar trim. It's not as soft of a wood as our as pine, which is what we had an option to use pine, but we used these top poplar boards, and they're 1/2 inch by 1.5. Here's an extra. That's what was hanging out at the top up there. So we trimmed everything out. Again, we bought 4-foot boards. That's just what our Lowe's had. So you can see how to cut lots of different pieces. So we trimmed everything. The only other trim that we used was this 3/4 inch quarter round to go onto the bench. And you can see I've used wood filler to fill in that line there. We used wood glue, nail gun. That's how we attached it. And then also we attached this board at the very top, which is crown molding. So everything we bought was at Lowe's with the exception of our hooks. We're still in the process of adding those. These hooks are from Amazon. It's a nice little modern farmhouse look in my opinion. Each cubby will have a hook for backpacks, purses, coats, and we love the double hook just because we feel like it holds a little bit more. So I hope this was informational. I hope you're not completely confused, but if you are, you can find me on Instagram at Hey Sarah Barlow, or you can comment below and I will get back to you with any questions that you might have. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. We love doing these projects and we love it even more when people can follow along with us. So thank you.